it is not
In other words, not as
anywhere.
obtrusive as it
Well, it certainly isn't as big as the dishes that we're installing around the community. It would be a little bit more obvious to some people, because most of the dishes are placed on the sides of the house in between. But it's still, it's not like putting a yellow big, rim sock or something like that up there. If I were sitting across, I'm on a lake, and my eyes aren't great anymore. I'm not even sure I would see it on a corner of a pool cage across the lake, but it wouldn't be offensive to me. That's number one. Do you want to taste it?
Is the pool cage white or dark?
Pool cage is white.
And the pole is going to be white?
I can't remember the color. He didn't show me the pole, but I've seen the little plastic molded device, which is white and, as I remember, blue. I didn't notice any. I saw the brochure, a picture of it.
Do you have the brochure attached to
I don't have it with me, no.
rules about CD antennas, just thinking just down the road.
Well, that's the one thing I was trying to remember, if there is something in the documents that say, I know there are places that that there are ham operators, they, what don't allow certain things, but I'm not sure what the documents.
You don't have to vote on this one.
No, I wouldn't, until maybe we would like to check the documents to make sure that there is not something in there that said, just so we don't turn around and okay something that turns out later that's, and perhaps that he could provide us with the brochure. That would have been nice if we could have seen what it.
But where would you go? I've tried to do all this stuff so you guys wouldn't have to delay these things. Where would you go to try to find whether or not there's something specifically that says we can't put something like that on a cage?
Well, it would be in the documents at some place, and right now I would have to look at I don't have it set with me right now.
Yeah.
You would be in the same area where
Well, the blue book does not give you everything that's in the documents. I mean, that's not something.
It
that
says
would come up.
structures or other additions, so constructed, erected, or maintained on any lots, so. It's not under sheds, tents, swing sets, above ground pools, hot tubs, or dog
What
houses.
page are you looking at?
8.
You mentioned ham radio operators. Do we have any in the neighborhood?
No temporary.
Well, we wouldn't allow that. I
Well,
mean, that's a pretty big town, right?
Well,
Tubs are
not ham operators, I don't know how big it would have to be.
buildings, structures or
Yeah.
other additions shall be constructed, erected, or maintained upon any lot. It may fall into that category.
The docks, no temporary permanent building structures or other improvements be constructed, erected, or maintained upon a lot without prior approval of the architectural control committee. I see that on a lot of these without prior approval.
So that's basic.
Okay, well,
I think we should approve it.
I don't see any.
Yeah, I think we should approve it.
I mean, unless it's, and if it turns out to be something that's a gaudy structure, we'll
Well,
approve it with the.
We approve it based upon the way he's got a diagram in here of what it's gonna look like. I've seen the brochure. As long as we say, as described, I think that we're safe. If it doesn't go in as described, then it becomes an issue.
To remove.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
That
right.
If they do something
Okay.
that hasn't been approved, then
Right.
it's not approved, then we go after it.
Okay, and then you have another one there, then,
I
because we will have to
one.
initial those.
We have Ed Woodchester at 4135 Old Meadowbrook Lane, lot 143. Has been asked allowed to dig a well in his front yard, naturally, because we can't get to the backyards anymore. Contractor Isabel evidently has done other work in Meadowbrook for current insurance documents yet. So we were going to approve it based upon those two requirements being satisfied.
What was the address again?
This one is 4135 Old Meadowbrook Lane.
As long as, like you say, he knows he has to get the permits, whatever.
Well, it was interesting that this guy said, "Who's the contractor?" He said, "Well, it's the same one that my friend up the street used last month when he installed his, and he didn't fill out a request, so he just went ahead and did it." So, you know, there's
I know, a lot of that.
all right. So we approved that based upon the two provisions. We have the Quans at 4113 Tyhoon Holly. Just met with them today and got their request. Their request approval to paint their house and trim. They are using Sherwin-Williams colors. The colors are not specifically on the current paint palette that had been established by the committee last year, but it's well within the range of all the paints that are there. It's a light beige for the trim and a little darker beige for the house. Very, very standard paints. They are paint numbers that ought to be added to the paint palette that we currently have. Contractor is Southern Colors, who has, I'm told, done a number of paint jobs in the community. They also have on this request to add a window to the back of their house. The back of their house is on the lake, and for some reason, this very long wall, about as long as this, on the lake, in a bedroom, does not have a window in it. So they're going to use the same size windows that are on the side of the house and put one on the back of the house, which is a very logical thing to do. Builder probably should have done that. I don't have the name of the contractor yet, but the contractor for the window. But the contractor has been there. Told him in order to do this, you have to pull permits. You have to have the county come out and look at it. So he's doing the right things, but we still want to have, with the provision that we know who the contractor is and that he has current insurance. And those are the two provisions that we have on the window part of that particular request.
And you approve that.
We approved that one too, based upon still getting the contractor's name and all the permits.
So it shouldn't require any heavy equipment.
No, not for the window. And then the final one is one that is already done, and we've approved it. Dean Hanish from Canada lives at 234461 Old Meadowbrook Circle. It's a lot that is that backs up to the green area that's between Meadowbrook Community and Coconut Shores. They've done a whole bunch of remodeling inside and just naturally started spilling out into the back. They live very close to Ron Worth. Ron's been involved with them and asked them if they had a request approved and said no, so he immediately called me. I went over there and all of the pavers were spread out along the front sidewalk, so we'd already gotten that done. I did, after talking to him, I did get a $1,000 check to be sure that the